Moscow, skyscrapers are crumbling and collapsing. Windows are breaking and shattering and roofs are falling.
The central center
of Moscow has been hit by a massive flood. These days, a hurricane in Moscow is tearing off roofs, toppling skyscrapers, and knocking Muscovites down. And Moscow has been engulfed by a hurricane and a flood of the century.
and the wind is blowing fiercely.
Moscow's grid is blown up, roofs are destroyed, Muscovites are fleeing. And Moscow was flooded by a powerful downpour, a hurricane, and even hail. Moscow is floating. The cars fell into the water. A powerful tsunami and a devastating hurricane flooded the city of Muscovite. Mega downpour flooded the city of Moscow.
Like this, as you can see, it can be done just like this in this way, like this.
This is what the underground parking lot in the north of Mordor's capital looks like.
And this is in fact exactly how it works.
The metro got flooded. And a building suddenly collapsed. Listen, actually,
This is probably the best story I've ever had.
Moscow's downpours flooded apartments. Buses turned into mobile swimming pools. Cars into boats. Couriers on mopeds had a rough time. The city streets quickly turned into wide, rushing rivers. And Muscovites went swimming. Friends, please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel Dasha Shaslivik, leave a few kind words about Ukraine in the comments, and also share where you're watching from. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's get started.
A heavy downpour hit Moscow. The rain will be more intense during the evening rush hour. Local flooding and squally winds are possible. A heavy downpour started in central Moscow at around 12:30 p.m. Clouds are also gathering and thunder is rumbling in the north and east of Moscow. Rain is also being observed in the northeast of the Moscow region. Due to the downpour, trains were partially stopped on 2 metro lines. There is no service on sections of the Kalushsko-Rizhskaya and Filevskaya lines.
Moscow is flooded again. Because of the heavy downpour, cars are going underwater and the city sidewalks look like lakes. Traffic on Borovsko Highway is paralyzed. A courtyard in the Dmitrovsky district is completely flooded. In the city center, Muscovites have to wade knee-deep through water or even climb over fences to get across the street and overcome the water obstacles. The especially resourceful have switched to boats. Because of the heavy rain, even visitors to shopping malls ended up getting wet. For example, videos of severe flooding at the Vegas shopping mall are being posted online. A similar situation occurred in 2 other shopping malls in Moscow. To get out of the water, one of the mall visitors even had to come up with his own original method. According to meteorologists, some districts of Moscow received more than half the monthly average rainfall. Forecasts say that similar weather will persist in the capital for another couple of days. Moscow city has been wiped off the face of the earth. A tornado struck Moscow. In
The ancient historic tower.
lightning struck the Ostankino Tower. It's on fire! Burn, burn bright so you don't go out. There's flooding at Vnukovo Airport. According to eyewitnesses, Terminal A is being flooded near gates 15 and 16. Several flights have been delayed, including to St. Petersburg, Yerevan, Pskov, and Nalchik. Muscovites are in a panic. Windows are being destroyed, roofs are collapsing, skyscrapers are falling, and roads are flooded. The downpour and hurricane that hit Moscow turned the tennis festival in Luzhniki into a water park. Friends, a yellow danger level has been declared in Moscow. Heavy rains have flooded Moscow. Roofs are being torn off, windows are being shattered. But the most interesting thing is that Muscovites are swimming home. Heavy rains and thunderstorms have started in Moscow. In some areas there is no electricity and peals of thunder can be heard.
A wooden fence unexpectedly collapsed on her. But the boy needed help after a heavy branch fell on him. According to the investigative committee, one person has died. It was a man in the north of Moscow who was crushed by a tree.
Friends, please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dasha Shastlivik. Write a few kind words for the children of Ukraine in the comments, and also share where you're watching from. Your favorite topic, Moscow, which has been flooded.
The city of Moscow, located in Russia,
When the Moscow region were hit by a downpour with hail, heavy rain, wind and hail, we are in Korolyov. Today, bad weather is expected not only in Moscow. City services are warning that the capital will see rain with thunderstorms and strong winds up to 15 meters per second. In the second half of the day, thunderstorms will rumble in Moscow.
Hail struck the area suddenly, causing a brief but intense burst of icy precipitation.
The Moscow region, and this is the situation in Korolyov.
I honestly have no idea how a tree ended up here. This tree, it flew in from somewhere. It's right in the middle of the road. This is unreal.
In the studio.
I had just stepped out of the building, and right then a tree fell onto a car.
Hey, if you look closely, Dad is getting ready to leave right now.
Damn. According to meteorologists, in the coming hours and until the end of the day, the capital of Mordor is expected to see heavy rain, downpours, thunderstorms, hail, and hurricane-force winds.
There's also a high probability of fatalities occurring.
Unbelievable! What's going on? This is just insane! What's happening here? What about a landslide, by the way? Rovnyak is a responsible and reliable citizen. Great job, kid. Is that enough for him?
Yeah. Don't film or else tomorrow.
Look, if the wind blows like that again, it'll go right back there. I think there won't be another gust like that.
I'm not currently subscribed to MASH because honestly, I don't really like that particular outlet very much. If I were, for example, wearing a raincoat, it would honestly be exactly the same situation for me, with no difference at all.
No one will help, honestly.
You just completely blocked the road.
I'm truly sorry, but unfortunately the answer is no.
The Maz Vodostok crews are dealing with the aftermath of the bad weather. They open storm drain grates, let water into the drainage system, and use powerful pumping stations. Should be noted that the flooding will continue until the end of the day, until 10 o'clock p.m., which is why Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin and specialists from the complex are involved. According to specialists from the Fubo Center, there's not much longer to wait. Everything should subside closer to me. In the meantime, eyewitnesses are sharing footage with us. Let's take a look at a few clips. Well, let me think. Let me see. Got it. Okay, alright, sure. 2-7. Look, just for a second, right there, for a little while. What kind of wind there was. It destroyed everything. Yeah, honestly, there were some crazy shots. On the internet, the hurricane force wind is literally sweeping away everything in its path. Right now, you can actually see these videos on your screen. It rips off roofs, bends billboards, knocks down fences and trash bins. Oh fuck!
That's it, fire.
Oh wow, what a disaster in Kamchatka on the 19th.
Oh, I hope no one dropped anything there.
Oh, and there's even some daredevil trying to swim across.
Terrible.
There's water there too.
Well, clearly less, but here it's less.
Because people are gradually making a new, well-trodden path across the green lawn, creating a shortcut.
So, it looks like our house is in danger.
This is already really scary.
Look at what happened.
Part of the ground collapsed and the entrance to the basement broke.
And now all the water that's here in Moscow is pouring in there in a huge stream.
So, can anyone tell me what to do?
Our house is old. It might not be able to withstand this at all.
That's how it is.
Yeah, it's like a flood.
Listen, honestly, this is probably, without a doubt, the very best story that I've ever had in my entire life.
Well, damn, what can you do?
No, they haven't put it out yet.
I see. They're getting water from here.
The passersby are great. They're helping out.
Someone's already throwing things out the windows and carrying them away. Good job, passersby. Honestly, it's scary though. What if the roof collapses?
They're pouring water in down below, just as you can see. Well, now you've got a real downpour happening, just like that.
That's right, absolutely, indeed, certainly.
Specifically
our city is here in Dodovsk.
There's a third one over there. And to wrap up, as usual, let's take a look at a breakdown of some top-notch Russian propaganda.
Why do you like stepping not only on your own rakes, but also on the rakes that others step on and not learn from them?
We struck Kiev. There's no electricity in Kiev, no heat in Kiev, no water in Kiev.
Is that good or bad?
I think it's good.
We are continuing to collect donations for, well, in the Belgorod region, we will be buying devices that allow people to heat their homes and cook food.
Basically everything needed for those who, are refugees, and for those living in houses located in blackout zones.
The Kiev regime is striking at the region's civilian and energy infrastructure.
We must be prepared for anything.
No, I think the Democrats would definitely be better for us because Trump is someone who could make a very radical decision.
And he will.
And he will. Definitely.
And we will see the hazel tree bloom.
And finally, Poseidon Sarmat.
What beauty!
Why, you will finally see how beautifully the storm petrel flies over the gray expanse of the sea.
What?
You're just like...
You followed Obama's path.
That's a vicious path.
One can imagine that we are facing a structural transformation of the military industry and the building of armies. Not just the Bundeswehr. The Bundeswehr is, I think, just the first sign, but also various NATO structures in general. This is something we need to understand very well.
They will move away from heavy weapons systems towards these kinds of mobile systems that use artificial intelligence, and I think it's not just about drones.
And on top of that, Elon Musk has announced that he will prepare 1 million humanoid robot warriors.
That is, he'll produce them within a year.
That will happen too.
Of course.
No, everything is unfolding according to the worst possible scenarios.
Well, that's something to be happy about.
Why suffer?
Soon everyone will be in paradise.
They'll just die, and we'll go to paradise.
That's fine.
Why worry so much?
We're going to paradise, and they'll just die.
But the scariest thing is that we, men, are losing our minds, while women are helping people.
They'll visit a man, and a woman is carried back and forth like a leaf.
Because she's a giver.
To be a happy man, you understand? She was taken from him and must return to him. She can't exist on her own. You see? That's the point. That's why men are kind of foolish and scary. These foolish men are raised by single mothers, who themselves developed that way at some point. Do you see how frightening that is? That's how it is. That's why Christianity is becoming something else now. You understand? Sick, frightening, really. So what should we do? How is it that, according to the canon, you don't allow anyone to participate?
It seems to me that if it's psychologically impossible for a woman, but after all, the doctor, the psychologist explains that this is a living life, and today, other people are in need of this living life. I want to tell you that in our country, for a number of reasons, there are now a lot of childless couples who cannot have a child. And the waiting list for adopting small, healthy children is very long. And I think that maybe a different approach is needed here. Yes, agree with the woman that she doesn't want this child in the future, but this child could live in such a family.
In war, it is not simply this side or that side that ultimately wins the conflict, but rather it is the fierce, determined ones who prevail. The fierce ones, those individuals who are relentless, those who break the will to resist, are the true victors. So I'll say it again. Now we've finally started to take things to hell. There will be no life in Kharkiv, nor in Poltava, nor in Mykolaiv, nor in Odessa. These cities will not exist, and neither will Kiev. If civilians don't realize that they've been chosen as expendable material and don't overthrow their Nazi government, and if you don't have the strength, at least leave those cities. Understand that you are being used as a human shield. Can't leave? I'm sorry. Let me remind you once again of the fate of Sodom and Gomorrah. There were probably some residents living there too who simply could not leave. They were just forced, like everyone else, to continue living their lives in the same way.
A hot war? We'll defeat Ukraine in 2 days. What's there to defeat?
Kiev will be taken that quickly?
A day and a half to 3 days.
2 days? Then the city will fall.
We just raise an eyebrow and Ukraine will run away. We'll take Kyiv soon.
Ukraine will never fight against us. This war will last, Volodya, at most 3 or 4 days. There will be no one left there to fight against us.
Order from Defense Minister Shoigu, 6 o'clock a.m., wake up, 7 o'clock a.m., morning hygiene, 8 o'clock breakfast, 9 o'clock attack on Ukraine, 12 o'clock lunch, 1 o'clock p.m., capture of Kiev, 6 o'clock p.m., Gazmanov concert, 9 o'clock p.m., fireworks. The only thing missing is the date, Yevgeny Petrovich, but otherwise I think we're not far from the truth.
Who came up with this idea that the Russians would take Kiev in 3 days? We never said anything like that. Well, thank God they did introduce the counter-terrorist operation. Well, I went there and back, and with a weapon, too. No one stopped me anywhere. There it is, the front line. I arrived calmly, walked through the city, picked up some elderly people, put them in the car, and drove back. There was no one all the way to Moscow. No one.
The forces and resources are quite substantial. These are regular combined arms units that entered the territory of the Kursk region. And to say that some sabotage and reconnaissance groups got in and that will quickly drive them out would be wishful thinking. We need to look at the situation realistically. For some reason, they think we were planning to take Kiev in 3 days, conquer all of Ukraine, and then move on to Poland. Where did they get that idea? War in the 21st century is a completely different thing. When your own population is close to 150 million, and across from you is a country that once had about 40 million, well, even if there are 30 million left now, maybe even less. It used to be 52 million. Well, at the very beginning, it was actually 52 million. I mean, at the time the special military operation began. And to go in, and then what? What are you supposed to do with all these people? And then go on to conquer 500 million Europeans? What for? What would you do with them?
Please like this video and subscribe to my channel, Dasha Shasliva. We work for an audience all over the world so that people know the truth about Russian aggression, about Russia's war against Ukraine. That's why every comment and every subscription helps this video reach as many people around the world as possible. Stay with us, stay on the bright side. Friends, glory to Ukraine. Glory to the heroes, we will definitely win.